Are you ready? Okay. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas in 12 different days. Hi guys, welcome to Bella's Bargains. My name is Amy. All right, so I did videos the last 2 days, but I was not on camera. I had a bad bout of the flu. I was surprised I even was able to get the crafts out, but I was a little bit ahead, so that helped. Now I'm not ahead, but anyway, that's okay. All right, so I'm super excited about the craft that I'm gonna show you today. So day number 10 was, well, hold on, we'll tell you about day number 10. Welcome to day number 10 of the 12 days of Christmas. And today's theme is anything goes. And so I thought I should do something that's about the reason for the season. So I hope you enjoy this craft. Thanks again to Brenda and Krista for hosting this. And now let's get to crafting from trash today. All right, so it was anything goes. It was tier trade or anything goes. I went with the anything goes. And I haven't done anything representative of the season. And I knew I wanted to do this. And so I was super happy when they added anything goes to the tier trade day, because that meant I could do this. So it's basically two crafts, but I don't know what this is. It's two crafts. But they go together, and it's just really, it's your favorite one? Me too, Ferdinand. The tree, the glass tree, which is, was my favorite, and now this is my favorite. And it's so simple, but really good. So, okay, so I'm gonna show it to you in 2 stages, because this by itself is a craft and could stand alone, right? Oh, look. It's the manger scene. Can you guys see my sky there? Look at that ombre with the stars in the background. So in the video, I don't know, I hope you guys can see all the stars in the sky. It's much easier in person. Whenever you're filming, it's so hard. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about all these elements after I show you how I made it. But I'm gonna tell you what brought me to making a manger scene. So this is a story, but you gotta listen. And then I'm gonna show you the second part of my craft. So when we got here, like the seafood here in Mexico is so good, right? So with this little seafood place opened up around the corner from us, and we get fresh caught seafood there, shrimp and all that. And so Marcus bought some shrimp to make some Bloody Marys with. I should insert that picture right here. So Marcus making his famous Cabo San Lucas Bloody Marys.
We got some shrimps.
That's good. Ooh, and we like marinated our shrimp.
Olives.
He's got celery. I like
Finally
celery.
found the first bottle of
Worcestershire.
It was hard to find.
Yeah, it was. But it's so cute and miniature. I'm gonna keep it afterwards to do something with it. And it's glass. Like what? How cool. Okay.
Worcestershire is always in glass.
There we go. This is our drink of the week. They're amazing. Anyway, and so we were trying to find Worcestershire sauce and you couldn't find it. And then we went into this place and, okay. So long story short, we found this little tiny Worcestershire sauce jar bottle, really tiny. And when we got it, it didn't take very long to go through it. And he's like, this is a really cute bottle. I go, no, save it, because I think it looks like one of the 3 wise men. So the cap on this, and it's like this cute, it's this dark glass, and the cap, I was like, it totally looks like a Mongolian hat, like from one of the 3 wise men, right? So this little bottle is what started this whole craft, and it sent me down, you know, the rabbit hole. Now I need to find other bottles so that I can, because I didn't want 3 the same. So the second half of the craft is my 3 wise men. I'm not even sure how I'm gonna show you all 3 of these guys. There's my 3 wise men. So we have small, medium, and large here. So like, okay. So we have our little sort of Mongolian one, and I don't even know, I'm not gonna get the right verbiage for sort of how I've dressed them, but I did give them all sort of different looking attire. Now let me just show you how this was made. I absolutely love this one. So that was a little box thing that I got at my 22 peso store, and I popped the back off of it. I've got some dryer sheets, I've got my silhouette traced. There's my bottles for my wise men and some rough wood. I'm gonna throw the dryer sheets and my cord into some instant coffee there to stain them. So they're gonna look more like what do they call that stuff? You know, gauzy material stuff. Anyway, all right, we're going to take apart this frame because I need parts of it. The two ends of it are going to be the side walls of my manger, so I just hammered those apart. And I didn't have any other rough wood to use for the sides, so hence I used these two pieces, but I think it's actually perfect. I love this. So I've got a really rough piece for the bottom, two newer pieces for the sides, and then a couple of rough pieces for the roof. So I'm just gonna hot glue and wood glue down my sides at an angle, so it's bringing us into the silhouette that's gonna be framed here, just FYI. And so I'm gluing those at an angle, and then I'm going to pick up the roof, I believe, next, and glue on our roof part, double checking that I'm the right width there for my backdrop for the manger scene. And there's my two slats that I'm going to, look how rough those are, but they're so perfect. It's like, this is so perfect. There's even, just the way I glue the first one on, there's like a little indent that just lays right on top of that one piece right there. And so I think even with the two newer pieces of wood, this is just like so perfect. And of course later on I'll stain them, you'll see. So we're going to get one, and I didn't have to break these or anything. They were just absolutely the perfect size in my stash. The other thing about using the two newer pieces on the side was I was guaranteed they were the same height, so I didn't have to play with it too much. Yeah, so I'm just going to glue, hot glue, wood glue, and then add a little wood glue in the center there. Put my pliers underneath it just to keep it raised up a little bit while it's setting, while the glue is setting on there. And then boom. All right, now we're going to move to the backdrop. So this is just a piece of MDF that was from the bottom of that original box. And I've got 4 colors. I've limited acrylic colors here, so I just took the ones that I thought were best. I only have one blue, this blue. So I obviously did about a third down on this blue. And so as the first color, you do a third down because it's going to bleed so much into the second color. And you end up with so many different shades. So usually about a third down with your, well, I'm only using 4 colors here though, so I should say that. But I'm going to go a third down because we're going to start in to the middle of our blue when we go to the next color. All right, so little trick here, I'm using the same brush, but I don't want to dunk my brush in there, so I grab toothpicks and dab on my color, and then I'm going to ombre in this sort of dark purple. This may not look like it, but it looks amazing when we're all done, because that blue mixes with that purple color and gives us this just incredibly beautiful night sky coloring that we're just going to ombre down to a much lighter color on the bottom. And I just sort of blend. This is just personal preference, like, you know, how much blending do you want to do. And then I'm going to go to the next one. We're going to repeat that. I'm going to pull out a Q-tip, and we're going to dab on the next color, which is just a much lighter purple. I've thrown in a little more of the blue, sort of streaking it in here. Again, personal preference. Isn't that pretty? It's such a pretty sky though, huh? I've done this before with like ocean scenes. Might be my first time I've done a night sky, as I can recall. Anyway, all right, so this is, again, such a good trick, you guys. Your crafting supply should always include Q-tips, FYI. And the same brush, I wipe off my brush because I'm like just dry brushing, so to speak. Once I get the first bit of paint painted across, then I sort of dry off my brush and dry brush that ombre together, okay? And then we're going to do it one more time with that very light blue, and look at that already. Isn't that pretty? It looks like a stormy sky almost right now. But I just keep blending up. Now I blended from dark to light. You could do the exact reverse. You could blend your light to dark. It's just going to give you more light usually than dark. Whatever color you start with tends to be your predominant shade, meaning if you start with a lighter shade, it's going to be predominantly a lighter shade at the top. Start with a darker shade, it's going to be predominantly darker shade. So, and see how that's just blending together, and then I brush it on up. Now I'm going to add a little bit more of the dark in there. And then another little trick is if you feel like you're not blending quite well enough, I didn't really need to do this, but I did it to show you, is you grab a little bit of water. These are acrylics. And water is just sort of makes them a little more soluble, is that the right word I want? And sort of blend your colors together a little bit better. I didn't necessarily need to do that here, but I wanted to show it to you. Because it really does give you, and then I had that one stroke that went down, but that's okay. It really does give you just a finishing, like blending, ombreing right there as we go down. Okay, so once I get my sky all done, and I'm pretty happy with where it is, any one of these steps I could have stopped and I think it would have been fine. But, you know, sometimes, I don't know. I was also getting a weird reflection, so I kept having to like tilt it to see exactly where I was in my blending. And just kept adding a little bit more of the dark up on top, which is totally fine. So I let that dry, and we're going to go get a toothbrush, and we're going to take our toothpick, and we're going to flick. This is really important, you guys, if you ever do something like this. So this is a light blue, right? Why am I not using white? Well, look up at the sky, and you'll notice that you have different shades in the sky of stars. Some are further away, and some are closer. So if you start with a light blue, you really get your distant stars, and then you go white on top of that, and you get some variance in your star colors in your night sky. So there's my baby blue a couple of times. See, they're just barely little dots. They're like those stars that you barely see in the sky. And then now we're going to do the white, and I get one chunk of right there, bam, but it doesn't matter. Joseph is going over it, so I was like, that's okay. There you go. So now we're going to go to doing our vinyl. So this was the vinyl that I got from Marx's work that I saved. I'm like, no, I need that for crafting for my nativity silhouette. I'm just straightening it out so there's no wrinkles in it. Again, this is like the best tip ever, you guys. Packing tape. I'm going to put it on the counter right in front. I'm going to line these up, make sure that they fit. There we go. And then bam, I flip them down onto the packing tape because these are just my paper cutouts that I cut out. And then tape it onto the vinyl, and then I'm going to cut it out. So no transfer tape required. This is like, you don't have to have a Cricut. You could just buy vinyl and do this, you guys. But anyway, so I get them all cut out. There's still the packing tape on top of them. Doesn't matter because I'm going to remove it. So I'm drawing my line to where I'm going to line up the baby Jesus and Mary and Joseph. Ignore the fact that I don't get it centered. It really doesn't matter. I fix it in the end. But I don't have the tape measure. I think Mark's took it to work. It's not here. And so I'm just like eyeballing it at this point. And I'm just slightly off center. It doesn't matter. When I glue the back on, I adjust for it. But I was so concerned about that big white dot, and I wanted to make sure that Joseph was going to cover it. And he does. And I have my line drawn down there. Remember that. So I'm lining these up based on my line. Look at the space between. Yeah, anyway, but I fix it. Okay, so we're going to just push those down, and we're not doing anything else to them. I left them completely stark white. And I'm going to glue my backing on, and this is where I'm going to adjust for the fact that we're not centered, because I take the one, I just end up pushing it more to that side so that they end up in the center. While we're here, everybody, if you're loving this video, don't forget to give me that thumbs up. Leave me a comment, an emoji, a star emoji would be nice, because we're going to do the star next. And don't forget to go to the playlist when you're done watching this. This is my favorite one I've done so far, FYI. I thought that my glass tree was, but now I think it's this one. Anyway, so just there I slid it over to adjust and watch. See, now we're far more centered. All right, my star. I take off the backing, and I stick it on a piece of cardboard because I need to strengthen this piece of star. It can't just be a piece of, I don't have anything to glue it to, so I put it on cardboard. And when I go to pull off the tape, it was sticky on that side too, which was fine. I used it to my advantage. Somehow I don't know. Anyway, so I cut it on the cardboard, and then I put this piece of sparkly packaging on top of it, which gave my star some brilliance. See that? It's like this confetti flaky cardboard stuff, which was perfect. Trash, by the way, just trash. So I trimmed that all down. I had to trim it down just a little bit to make sure that all fit, which was fine. And then I glue that right in the center. Beep! It's like this ah moment. Oh, holy night. Or away in the manger. Okay. We're going to get to my favorite part, though, soon, which was what started this whole thing, as I've already told you. And, okay, so here's my coffee stain. Do you guys notice I have my own little jar of coffee stain now? Don't go buy stain. Why buy stain? You can make your own from cheaper things. You could do this with your coffee grounds in the morning, which is absolutely 100% trash. This happens to be instant coffee. All right, here's my coffee stained dryer sheets, one of my favorite things to craft with these days. Now I'm going to take my 3 wise men, Manny, Mo, and Jack here, and I'm going to make them close. I feel like I'm playing Barbie here. I'm going to make them close, and I want them all to be different. All right, so my little Mongolian looking guy here, I give him a double collar and a great big cape. So here's his little double collar, bam, and I'm going to cape him, I'm going to glue down the back so it doesn't flop up. Fold it over so it's the right width, and then we're just going to cape this around him, boom, and pinch it in the middle. It's like perfect, isn't it? Ah! And then I add all these elements to all these wise men. I'm going to go ahead and put some music on, and you guys can just enjoy watching me dress these guys up. It was fun to come up with different ways to dress them so that they would all look different, and use my twine there and give them, you know, different twine accents basically, and different head gear and stuff. But anyway, I think I did a good job. I'm very happy with this. And then my last thing that I do is adding the hay, which is just coconut shreds from my coconut thing that I used when I made the pumpkins. Okay, so I'll put some music on. You guys can enjoy this, and I'll be back to talk a little bit more about this craft. But I absolutely love it. I hope you guys do too. You guys, it really is my favorite. So I already told you the story of how we got to the Worcestershire. The Wiseman thing totally started with this guy. Then this was a hair oil bottle, but this one's glass and this one's plastic, but it was the right coloring. And so I'm like, okay, so I can definitely use this one. And of course we gave him just that different kind of hat on top and blah, blah, blah. And then I needed one more. So nothing like a good old Modelo beer bottle, because it's the amber glass, right? So anyway, my 3 Wiseman, small, medium, large, but they look great together. It really worked out. Okay, so a couple things I want to point out on my nativity scene though. So this is vinyl. So I hope you guys really paid attention to that. You can buy vinyl. You can trace anything out on anywhere. Pull it up on your phone or your iPad or whatever, or just out of a magazine. You can trace something, cut it out of paper, and put it onto packing tape, and put it on top of your vinyl and cut it out. It's that simple. And it gives you like, it just helps you guide your scissor when you're cutting it out and everything. Anyway, this vinyl, so they had the grand opening of the store that Marks is working at, and I went to help him put up this sign, and there was a vinyl template for it. And it took a little bit of work, and when we're all done, I was like, yeah, no, I'll take that vinyl. And he goes, what? And I go, no, I need it for crafting. It's gonna be my nativity silhouette. Anyway, he thought I was insane until he saw it. And he's like, oh, okay. So this is totally recycled. This is my coconut fiber, which is just trash recycled from the coconut. But see this up here? Okay, see that little sparkly on that star? Do you know what that is? It's the cardboard backing from a set of my eyelashes that I got at the Dollar Tree. I think it was the eyelashes. Anyway, some piece of makeup. That was the cardboard backing in the packaging. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I need that. And what a perfect little star shimmer on there, right? Okay, and this is just wood that I've found on my walks out with Jax during the day. And of course the bottles are 100% recycled. And this is just a little bit of like string cording stuff and dryer sheets. You know dryer sheets. I think I've used almost all my dryer sheets now and almost all my toilet paper rolls. So everything, I'm recycling this stuff. All right, guys. You have to tell me down below what you think of this one. I hope you really like it. We have 2 more days left. Don't forget to go check out the playlist down below. And if you really do like this, I love my nativity scene. I hope you guys really do like this. Please make sure you give me a thumbs up down below and an emoji, maybe a star emoji. I don't know. I don't think there's a 3 Wiseman emoji. Or a baby Jesus emoji. Why isn't there a baby Jesus emoji? Anyway, all right, everybody. So have a great day, great week, a great life. And Ferdinand, say goodbye to your besties. Good job, Ferdinand. All right, everybody. Until the next time, from your singing crafty crafter. We got 2 choices here. Oh, Holy Night or Away in a Manger. What? What was that? Did you say? What? Okay. Away in the manger, no crib for a bed. The little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the sky looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. Happy bargain hunting. We'll see you next time here. Doodles.